Faintly special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Yeah, it was on, man. G started swinging that thing, man, and dude was bagging up, and he pulled out the jump, and then G telling him, man, yeah, you gonna have to use it. Come on with it. Come on. And G trying to get at him, and then dudes is trying to stop the situation for the police see it. They like, man, y'all calm down, man. Dude, we gonna get the money straight, man. We gonna get the money straight, man. Y'all divide the money up. G said, I ain't dividing nothing. You know, so man, he trying to get that dude, man. Dude trying to get away. Then he started going around the table. So everybody else moving away, man. So, man, I think it was Big George, man. Big George McGee, man. He always tried to be the peacemaker. You know what I'm saying? He a big old dude with those squeaky voice, man, with the gold teeth. Shout out George, man. But George was, Diesel. But George was like, man, y'all come on, man. Come on with the foolishness, man. Man, everybody gonna get the money, man. Everybody gonna get the money, man, but we gonna get this stuff straight out here, man. Come on, man, for they shut the yard down, man. Cause you know, dudes don't want to get locked up because like I told you, get locked up on Mecklenburg, it's a wrap. Ain't no telling when you coming back out. You know, ain't no telling when you coming back out. Then they gonna lock us down when something like that jump off. So dudes end up squashing the joint, man. They gave G the same amount of money they gave dude. They went ahead and squashed the situation, man, but it just, you know, I'm sitting in the back, I'm just looking at the situation, and like I say, I'm taking all this in. Now, I know the first thing y'all out there will probably say is, why, you know what I'm saying, all of this stuff be happening and occurring in the poker zone, why people keep getting in it? Man, and that answer I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you because I did it myself. It's something about it, man. Like I say, I truly believe it's an addiction. You know, it's gambling, it's an addiction. But when you in prison, man, I think it's even tenfold because you so, you know, clogged up with boredom, you so clogged up with misery and depression that you look for excitement, you look for adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? And poker provided that. You know what I'm saying? Also, it provided a lot of danger. But that was just par for the course. You know, people knew that. You knew that if you played poker, it won't nobody that played poker that did not know in prison that, you know, that Bethlehem is on deck and somebody might get killed or hurt over a poker hand, you know, but yet it still went on every day in every prison I was in. Poker was ever present, man. It was always there. Everybody playing poker somewhere, if not in every block on the compound, you know. So, but they ended up squashing that joint, man. But like I say, G, he was a soldier, man. He won't nothing to play with. He ain't do a whole lot of talking. He was a soft-spoken dude, you know what I'm saying? But you knew he meant business. He had came there from another institution, to my understanding, for putting that Bethlehem in somebody real vicious, man. Dude almost died. And it was over some gambling stuff. You know what I'm saying? But dude almost died. So, you know, like I say, everybody on there had a reputation. Everybody. You know, that was the criteria to get to the compound. You know what I'm saying? That you had to been putting some work in somewhere else. And the people was tired of you and they ain't want you on the institution no more. So off you go to Mecklenburg. So like I say, you know these things. And when you in these environments, man, you have to be aware of that at all times and you got to be prepared. You know, at this time already, I had most definitely already secured Bethlehem. I already had it. You know, I was hoping I didn't have to use it, but I knew without a shadow of a doubt, if it came time for me to use it, I was going to use it because I didn't want to be on the receiving end of it. I ain't want to be on the business end of it, so I'm gonna give somebody else the business. So I wasn't like real boisterous then. I wasn't like, you know, running my mouth or talking smack all the time. I basically, like I said as little as possible or what needed to be said when it needed to be said. You know, like I said, I was still young, I'm still green, I'm still learning, but at the same time, I'm absorbing all of this stuff. I'm also watching my surroundings and watching the people that I'm around and how they care. And like I told you, man, the characters on there, man. If I did videos about the characters on Mecklenburg, man, that would be what my whole YouTube would be about, because it was so many and different, personalities, different attitudes, man, and all strange, some weird, some crazy, some just, you just, man, like, what? You had Gangsta Slim on there at this time, man. Gangsta Slim in tip-top shape, man. He in tip-top shape. He tall, he lean, but he cut up. This man work out every day. Long dreads all the way down to the back of his thighs. And he'll get on that basketball court, be calling people over there to play, man, for that place one-on-one. Come over here, play some one-on-one, man. Yeah, and he just get dudes over there, man, and play. And I'm telling y'all, I told y'all this before, though, man. He get on that basketball court, man, and he can't play a tap. He can't barely make a layup by himself. But he gonna try to run you over, knock you there like he playing rugby, and he think that's real. He think that's basketball. And all he want to do is play people in a one-on-one, because he ain't nobody getting him on the court for no whole court basketball. So he try to play people one-on-one, but he really wanted it for the exercise. But, man, he running into you, hitting you, jumping up, trying to block your ball, coming down hard across your face. And all the time he got in fights. All the time he did not care. That's how he going to play. That's what he going to do. And he get on that court with somebody, and it want nothing to be out there playing cards, working out or something. And you heard somebody scrap, and you look over, it's Gangsta Slim on the basketball court, scrapping, tussling, rolling all around on the ground, because he done got somebody over there to play one-on-one, and he over this joint trying to tackle people, man, and acting like this stuff is cool. So you had, like I say, cats like him out there, man. You had cats like Roscoe walking around, like an old broke down pimp, but he crazy, he dangerous too. What's up, Stick? Yeah, man, I'm just trying. And all he trying to do is get a little bit of money, get in the poker game, win, double up his money, triple, and get out. And dudes ain't even wanting to play for that, because, like I said, it was an unwritten rule in penitentiary when you play poker, man. When we come out there to play, we looking to play the whole rec period. If you looking in there just to get in there and win somebody money and jump out and take the money and run, go spend the money, man, I mean, I know that that's the ideal way to be, is to play something to win and to, double up your money or whatever. They don't play that in penitentiary. It's different rules. Nah, you come get in that game and win and tell me you cashing out and you taking that money and then you don't come back, man. Dudes be having beef with you, man. Dudes gotta have beef with you. They gonna be wanting to fight you, man. Dudes gonna be wanting to do something to you because they feel like they never had a chance to get their money back, which sounds insane to the normal people, but that's how it goes in prison. When you sit in there to play, it's to understand that you supposed to be playing for the whole rec period, or you supposed to be playing until, everybody get a fair shot, and that's crazy, because if casinos was run like that, man, they probably wouldn't even be open. But that's prison life, man, so you had a lot of dudes on there, man, that worked out. A lot of dudes that gamble, man. They had a little circle of the gamblers, man. But there was a lot of dudes who worked out on there. It was some big dudes on there, man, because they had free weights on there. We had a weight room, and they had the weights out on the yard. So you had a lot of dudes that spent a lot of their times working out, man. And you had like I say, some of the names that I done used before, talked to. But you had the dude up there. I haven't even talked about him before. He had this. I just thought about his name. He had this crazy dude up there named JB, man. Oh, man, I think his real name was James Braxton. Man, Lord, you talking about crazy. He had a little age on him at the time. Probably was, man, JB probably then, I'm in my 20s. JB probably was in his 40s. But, man, he will fool you, man. He was tricky. He could fool you. And you look at him, and he looked like an older dude. He didn't look like he was really, really in shape. But, man, you get JB down there in that gym, man, and you see him hitting that bag, man, and you can see, man, he had a one-hitter quitter. He will fool you. You run up on him, and he dropped that hammer on you, he'll knock you slam out. But that was the least of your worries, because this man was certifiably crazy, man. When I tell you certifiably crazy, man, he done did some of the craziest things I've seen. JB I've been around him, man, on other institutions when he was locked up in the segregation, and man, this man would dismantle a cell. I mean, dismantle. You got beds that's bolted to the wall. You got the lights, this fluorescent lights with the shield and stuff on them. You got a whatever you call it, a stainless steel sink and toilet. Man, JB done been in cells. He done took all of that apart. He done took the beds off the wall. He done dismantled the toilet. He done ripped the lights out. He done flooded his cell. He done set the cell on fire. He just goes off when he goes off. And they know it. And they came, man, they was welding a door onto his already door on Greensville in segregation, because he tore the cell completely up. Completely up. When we was on Mecklenburg together, he get to arguing with the police about something about his medical stuff that they won't get, or he won't get the proper medicine from medical, and he get to argue with the people. They trying to tell him they doing whatever they can, whatever medical say, that's what it is. Man, JB done took and climbed up on top of the building. And first he took some weights, some 10-pound weights, some 5-pound weights, and threw them up on the top of the building. Some collars, them big 2.5-pound weight collars that you got, that goes on the end of the weight to hold the weights. He done threw all this stuff up on the building, and people looking at him like, man, what this fool doing? He just throwing the weights up on top of the building. Then he climbs up the side of the wall and get on top of the building and telling people they better get his medical stuff right, or they gonna have a terrible fight on their hands. So they locking us up and everything, man, and they say the police out there trying to get him down. JB started throwing weights at him, throwing the collars at him. Man, this man was crazy. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you, JB was off the chain. I don't even know if he's still locked up, but I know he was certifiable, man. I mean, he done got in a van before to get transferred. I think I was with him then on Augusta. He didn't want to go. He gets in the van. It's not a big van. It's one of them little mini vans, because they only got one transfer, and it was him. And man, he gets in the van with shackles and handcuffs on and everything. He done slid sideways and started kicking and pushing and kicking. He rocking the whole van, man. The whole van is just swaying. They had to go out there, man, subdue him, chain him down like Hannibal Lecter to the seat and everything just to get him off the compound. This how crazy this man is, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, you got them people in prison, man, that's unlike anybody you have seen before. And a lot of them, when they got that attitude that they got nothing to lose, man, it ain't no telling what they might do. It's just no telling what they might do, man. I'm telling you. I done seen dudes on Mecklenburg, man, like I say, just completely snap out. And most of the time, you may not even know what the reasons is. You know, you may not know what the reasons is. I seen dudes on Mecklenburg, man, just female COs walk through the hall, man, just grab them on the behind, man, and just squeeze it. You know, the woman turn around and just snap out and get the hollering, screaming. Police coming running from everywhere. He already know he gonna get a beat down. He already know what's coming with it, but they don't care, man. They just get so desperate and so, you know, deprived of everything, man. It's just like they just take their opportunities whenever they can take them. You know, and it just be some crazy stuff be jumping off, man, in them prison walls. And especially, like I say, on Mecklenburg, where you got all these different type of characters, man. I done seen dudes break out in knife fights on the basketball court. I done seen dudes get their dreads pulled out. I'm talking to, I was just recently with little homie that I know that was locked up with me. He did more time than me. Did 38 years. He out here now. Shorty Sites, man. Shout out to him. We was recently talking about the time that him and Gangsta Slim got to fighting on the basketball court. You know, both of them got dreads. They get to fighting out there on the basketball court, man. Gangsta Slim to pull about 3 of Shorty Sites dreads out from the root. I'm talking about from the root, long dreads. He done pulled them out from the roots and grabbed Shorty Sites, pulling the joint, pulled them out from the roots, man. You know, I'm talking about this is the type of stuff that you might see on there. Any day that you walk out on that yard, is no telling what's going down, is no telling who is going down with. All you need to know is when you go out there, you need to be prepared. You had some dudes, even though they had came there for incidents or whatever, because some dudes get sent there, you know, they might mess around and be messing with the drugs, and they might end up getting sent there for some drug situation where it might not have been no violence occurred. So those type of dudes, they might not even have the you know, they might not have that stomach for all that violent stuff, but they just was trying to get money in the penitentiary and got caught up, and the people don't want to deal with you because they think you got the ability to bring drugs on their compound, send you right on to Mecklenburg. Then you get up there to Mecklenburg and you out here with all these gorillas and wolves, and you don't even want to come out the yard. You don't even want to come out your block. You don't even want to come out your pod. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what's out there. You know, so dudes know what's going on when they walk out there on that yard. They know exactly what they going putting themselves into. And then somebody might just approach you about anything. Somebody might approach you and just be trying to extort you, especially if they can smell, you know what I'm saying, that you weak or something. And that's just what goes on in there. All day, every day. It ain't no different. It ain't gonna be different. You can pray for it. You can say, man, I'm gonna go out here today, man. I hope don't nobody bother me. It ain't guaranteed. Yeah, nothing guaranteed, man. Nothing guaranteed. When you make the decision to walk out there on that yard, it ain't nothing guaranteed. It's not even guaranteed that you coming back up in that building. You know, so you got to know this and you got to understand this, because like I say, it's just so many different people out there, and there's so much going on. And then you got everybody dealing with their own issues, and they trying to internalize those issues, and they trying to hold it to themselves. But when it all comes out, it all comes out. You know, it all comes out, man. And when you got all these different type of personalities and attitudes and egos, the egos be clashing. Okay, I heard this dude a killer. Okay, well, I'm a killer too. Well, I heard this dude did that. Okay, well, I did this. So it's just so much. And you got dudes that, you know, like I say, killers don't want to meet killers. So you got dudes that avoid each other and try not to have confrontation, but when they do have confrontation, you already know what's going to jump off. You know it's going to be some blood in the air, you know. And like I say, that basketball court, that we play football out there, dudes get mad because they get hit so hard. Then you got you got the drugs going on there. Everybody just getting it's only a few amount of dudes up there getting drugs because the compound is so small and it's so hard. So whoever got the drugs, man, all the dudes that want to get high to just take themselves away, that's a problem. But you got dudes that don't want to bother the dude that got the drugs, no matter if they like them or not, because the rest of the compound, they do like to get high. They going to be mad at you if you mess with the drug, man, because you going to cut off the supply. So the dynamics on that joint is just outrageous. It's crazy, man. And then, like I say, you end up in the thick of things, man. And like I say, I was in the thick of things, man, because like I told y'all later on there in Atlanta, I ended up being, you know what I'm saying, had the dude that I was dealing with, and he had all the weed on there. So I eventually had all the weed, and I told y'all about all the backstabbing, conniving, and stuff they was trying to do to get me off the compound, which eventually worked, you know what I'm saying? But those type of things is what goes on there, man, because it's survival of the fittest. Everybody trying to get their face, to get their feet into place, trying to get, you know what I'm saying, submit where they is, what they doing, how they gonna do their time, get the things that they need to do their time, the things that they need to keep them comfortable, and that's what it is. So, you know, the only thing about Mecklenburg that I can think about the most, like I say, when I put it in totality with the other institutions that I was on, for real, it was less altercations and violence, because of they knew first and foremost you probably gonna have a long stay in segregation. Second of all, you probably was gonna have a longer stay on Mecklenburg. Now, even though Mecklenburg was, like I said, it was convenient because you had your own cell, whatever. You knew the lay of the land. You knew who everybody was, what they was about. It wasn't a whole lot of jaw jacking, you know. But at the same time, you want to get on other institutions. You want to leave there because you want to be able to have the little, quote unquote, little freedom that you have on other institutions that you could not have on Mecklenburg. You could only associate with the same amount of people. You could only be around the same amount of people. You could only be on these small yards. You couldn't really, move around the way you would on a major institution. Like, you could take Mecklenburg and set it inside of Greensville. That's just how small it is. Mecklenburg wouldn't even be one part of Greensville. That's how smaller this institution was compared to other institutions. So dudes wanted to get back on a major institution so they could move around and have that little freedom and have more opportunities to do different things, whatever it was that they might have been into. But on Mecklenburg, man, it's congested. It's congested. You're going to see the same faces every day. You're going to deal with the same people every day. And then, like I say, you always got to be ready for confrontation, man. That basketball court, I've seen many fights break out on that court where they actually say, man, we're going to put the Bethlehem down, man, we just going to rumble because they wanted to get something off of their chest, but they didn't want to go to jail. They didn't want to go to segregation. They didn't want to lose their bed. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes got the rumbling out there on that basketball court, just like I say with Gangsta Slim, man, and Shorty Sykes, man. I seen you got P-Thing, man, from Petersburg. People been asking me about a video about P-Thing too. I got to end up because P-Thing was something else, man. But yeah, P-Thing will be out there trying to get next on the basketball court, and ain't nobody really want to give him a play because he couldn't really play. But he want to play. And he going to stand there, he going to call next, and he going to demand that next, and he can rumble some. He can rumble too, so. And the next thing you know, if you get the rumbling with him because he won't scared at all, he done spit that razor blade out and hit you. Wow. You might see a dude just bleeding. I seen him hit a dude one time. Spit it out and hit him so fast, man, and dude ain't even know he was cut. He ain't even know he's cut. And Pete Thing will put that thing back in his mouth and be like, come on, he ready. You know what I'm saying? So you see these type of things, but you start becoming, I was new in my bit, so I started becoming immune to these type things. When I first saw these type things, I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? But I started becoming immune to it because it becomes your everyday life. You're around it so much that you used to it now. You know what I'm saying? Only thing it is when something like that jump off, you just got to be alert because you don't know what might happen or what might come at you. Dudes know they going to jail. Dudes know they're in trouble. Dudes might have had beef with you, might not like you, might have had an attitude with you or whatever. And then when they know they're going to jail, they might just say, well, it's a free fall. Whoever got beef with me, I'm trying to sing. So you never know. And then you never know who don't like you because some people fester that inside and keep it inside until it's time for them to let it out on you. So yeah, man, it just was it was a volatile situation. But it was somewhat controlled because by the mentality and by the type of characters that was there. It was somewhat controlled because dudes knew what the outcome was going to be. And dudes knew that it was going to be a price to pay it. But, like I say, so when they go, they going. When they make it up in their mind that this is what's going to happen, then that's what happened, So like I said, I stayed to myself, man. I was with Graham a lot, DP a lot, Block. I eventually getting cooler with other dudes. Me and Shorty Sykes was cool. He liked to play basketball. I played basketball every now and then. Me and Stacey Perry became real good friends, man. Lifelong friends, man. For over 30-something years, me and Stacey, we ended up being cool, man, because he was a smooth dude, man. That was my dude. He was real good at basketball. He played poker. He was a genius, man, in that hustling, man. And you got different dudes in prison, man. You got some dudes that got a hustler's mentality, and man, they just know how to get it in prison. They know how to get it. If it's money involved, they're gonna have their hands in it. Stacey had his hand in everything, man. Parlays, poker games, skin games. He might have somebody making the wine. He just had that hustler's mentality, man, and he always found a way to land on his feet. He was one of the best athletes on the camp, man. He played basketball real good. Couldn't nobody on the whole compound outrun him. He was super fast, man. I believe he had like NFL speed, man. He used to race dudes for money. Dude fresh on the compound, he'll race him. He'll smoke him. Couldn't do nothing with him, man. He bet sight unseen. I ain't never seen you race, I bet you. And I ain't never seen him lose. He was a super fast dude, man. But Stacey was my dude. He got out a little bit after me, man. Heard he had a little trouble going on, but hopefully, man, everything work itself out for him. but he did more time than me. I think I did 33. I think he did 34, either 35 years. Yeah, you had all types of characters, man. People that I met on there, you know, I created a lot of long-term friendships with dudes on there, man. Long-term friendships, man. Met Big Fred, me and Big Fred met on there. Big Fred Shears, salute to him. My big brother out here doing good things. A lot of dudes, man, came through that joint. But like I say, the ones that y'all know, the names that y'all know, and oh man, I just thought about old dude. I may definitely had to do a video on him. And I may have to do a whole video on just prison hustlers in general, man, because I met some dudes, man, that was in there that took entrepreneur to a whole new level, man. And there's one dude that I was just thinking about, Johnny Nelson. Oh man, when you talk about a money getter, man, that man had it. He almost owned the whole compound. He just had his hands in everything, and he was a genius. He was super smart. He played chess, man. Chess. They said he had a genius IQ. They said his IQ had been tested before. He had a genius IQ, man. But he played chess, man, and he'll play 4-5 dudes at one time. One time, I mentioned this before, that he'll play. That was him, man. He played 4-5 dudes at one time. Anybody win, one person win one game, he win all other 4 games. He played everybody. Everybody. That's how smart he was. And he had all types of everything in there, man. He ran the kitchen. He could get you high to fight, man. He had a store box, man. He had poker games being run out there in his name. He had dice games, parlays, people making wine, people selling the weed. He just had everything. If it was going on, he had something to do with it. But the key about it was he was unique. He had no vices. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He didn't do none of that stuff. He just got money. He just got money. Old Johnny Nelson. And I heard, after all that time he did, I heard he got out. I definitely know he came back, but I just recently heard he made parole again. So Johnny done probably did over 40-something years combined, you know. And I just heard he got out again. So if that's true, salute to him. But like I say, man, Mecklenburg was different for me. It was definitely a learning experience for me. It was definitely something that I had to get used to. But it definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, especially the danger, especially the value of life. Dudes had zero. You know what I'm saying? It's theirs or nobody's. So you have to learn that, man. And when you learn that, and these are, at the moment that you're in it, like I said, it's like I always say, it's a blessing in every lesson. At the moment you don't see it, you don't even see that you absorbing this information. You don't even see that you processing this information right at the time. You just see that you surviving. You know what I'm saying? That you just surviving. You know, and you wake up and you see dude, you know, get sliced in the face. You see dude get his head bust open. You see a dude get poked up. Your mission every day is not to let that be you. By any means necessary, just not to let that be you. And that's all be your concern. So at the time, you don't realize you learning how to survive and you learning these things and these life lessons, but you just paying attention to, you know, just surviving yourself. But you don't realize that these are the rules and the principles that's gonna carry you through the rest of your bit. When you get on other institutions, then you have adapted these type of philosophies. You have adapted this type of lifestyle. So when you see things, you know how to react. You know what to do because you have already seen these things done. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I say, every institution that I ever been on, I've learned something. Every institution that I ever been on, I picked up, you know what I'm saying, more knowledge and more understanding about how to navigate myself through this sentence that I had to do. And I didn't know it at the time, but looking back in retrospect, that's exactly what I was doing. I was picking up and learning as I go. But like I said, I was around a lot of good people, and I was around some dudes that was good for me to be around at that time. You know, I was around maniacs and stone cold killers, but and didn't have problems. But then I'd be around clowns and bammers and have all the problems in the world. You see what I'm saying? So it's a crazy mix, man. It's a crazy mix when you dealing with that type of stuff, especially inside the walls, man. But the most I've seen dudes, man, like I say, on Mecklenburg, I seen dudes get beat up. I seen dudes get stabbed. I seen dudes get their head bust. I seen dudes get beat up with, with fists. I mean, brutally on Mecklenburg, man. I mean, beat to the point where if somebody ain't stopping, they would have been beat to death. Beat to death. I remember Shorty J. I ran back into Shorty J too. Shout out Shorty J. Shorty J went home and came back. But man, I can remember, and it be the smallest things because, like I say, so many dudes dealing with so many internal, demons inside them. When they let them out, they just come out. Because I can remember Shorty J and my man Gordon. Shout out Gordon. Hopefully he's out here somewhere too these days. But I can remember, and Gordon was a humble dude, man. He was a humble dude, but he was a slightly arrogant dude because he was intelligent. And I can remember them going to a program on Mecklenburg that some people from the outside came in, and it was like a little conference or something for whatever type of class they was in. But they actually brought people from the outside to speak. So I can remember, man, that they went over there to that program together, and the dude Shorty J got mad because he said that couldn't nobody talk, couldn't nobody ask no questions, couldn't nobody answer nothing, because every time the lady said something, Gordon took over the conversation. Gordon answered the question. Gordon wouldn't let nobody else talk. So this made them so mad and irritated and frustrated. Now you done created a beef when y'all supposed to be going over there for something constructive and productive. Now y'all done created a beef about who talking and who answering questions. So when they got back to the block, it was understood that they had words or whatever. So when we came outside on the yard and we was on the basketball court on the fence, in the caged-in fence, and once the CO leave, I told you when the CO leave, that's when it pop off. So once the CO left, Shorty J walked over to him and asked him why he was being so arrogant and smart and trying to downgrade him in the class. So Gordon said, man, there wasn't nobody trying to downgrade you, man. He said, man, you know what you was doing. He said, man, I wasn't doing nothing. And he couldn't even say nothing else because next thing you know, Shorty J just popped off on him. Bow! He left and he hit him. And I don't think, Gordon ain't no fighter or nothing. I don't think he was prepared for that. But when he hit him, man, he fell all the way back and hit the fence. And Shorty J was on him, man, bang, bang, bang. And he just started sliding down the fence, man. And he was getting hit in the face, man. I'm talking about with solid, good shots, man. And he just was unconscious. He just was there shaking, and Shorty J was just drilling him. I felt so bad for him, man, because I knew both of them. I felt so bad. I wanted to stop it, but I know that's not my place. And I think, man, it was Block. I'm not sure. It might have been Block who ended up stopping him, man. But I know if he don't stop him, man, he beat him to death. He beat him to death. He was in a fit of rage. He would not stop. He was just drilling him. If he don't get stopped, he probably beat dude to death. And you sitting there, you looking at that, you seeing his face all mangled up, blood coming from everywhere, lip hanging down. It just was, it was horrible, man. It was like a car accident. But that's just the things that go on there. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, Gordon was a humble guy, but he was an arrogant guy. But in prison, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? People gonna just do what they do. They gonna see you how they see you. They don't care if you ain't no fighter. They don't care if you ain't no killer. You see what I'm saying? Mercy is the last thing you gonna get in prison. If you looking for mercy, then you looking in the wrong place. Cause like I say, dude don't stop him. He probably beat him to death. That's how incapacitated he was, just taking blows, and his head was just like boom, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? And dude ain't had no intentions on stopping because he was still talking to him. I told you, and and that's just it. And then you always got to look at other people looking at you. So he trying to also send a message to the rest of the population is, this how I go. This how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with me, this is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So you have to keep those things in your mind. You have to inventory those things in your mind. You have to inventory them so when you in a situation, you got to know that, hey, I can't go down. I can't be in a vulnerable situation. I can't rely on nobody to have mercy on me. Nothing. So you got to strike first, you got to strike hard, and you got to strike last. And that's the mentality that I adopted just from seeing and being around the things that I was around. You know, I'm not gonna let nobody do nothing to me. I'm not going for it. If you come at me, I'm coming 10 times harder than you come. You know, and wherever the chips fall, that's where they fall. But I'm gonna do my best to protect me at all costs, because I couldn't see myself being somebody getting beat to death, just stabbed up to death, and not, you know, putting up a fight. So, you know, and like I say, Mecklenburg was full of it. It was full of it, man. And and when, like I say, and when Bo Billy got there, man, it even got more full of it. Like I told you, his name got there before he got there. His transfer had already started circulating the population that Bo Billy was coming. And when he came, you knew he was there.
The bacon special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.